You have to have the reggae soldiers to keep fighting the battle for reggae, because we know we always have the adversaries who will try to keep reggae down, but once we keep on doing what we are doing, reggae lives and lives forever because of people like yourself and others. So thanks a lot, and what it goes to show is that reggae is neither male or female, it's a combination for the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'll share my thanks with the marketing team and the industry liaison at LCCM who believed and helped push this forward. So I'm so grateful to everybody.
Well done.
Okay, let's move on, as we're short of time and we've got so much to go through, as you can see by the stage. So next, I'd like to introduce the man himself, Mr. Collin Robinson, sat so quietly there next to Mandingo, the founder of the Reggae Museum, and whose sole purpose is to keep reggae music alive. Mr. Robinson eats, sleeps, dreams reggae music. And after all, as he says, reggae music is the rhythm of life. So please, Mr. Robinson, welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, LCCM, for bringing us here to express reggae music. Reggae music is love. When it hits you, you don't feel no pain. You just want to dance and continue dancing, yes? The journey, it's a long journey. I must say condolence to Vivian, as what Mandingo just says. We have just lost a beautiful voice within the reggae world, yes? And let's hope his family will be able to get over it eventually, yes? But we are here today to express reggae music, the journey, where it's coming from and where it reached. It's an honor to see that UNESCO is a part of United Nations, has just granted reggae music with a world heritage. It doesn't belong to Jamaica anymore. It belongs to the world. A friend sent me a video a couple of days ago, and it was like people in India, big concerts similar to the one in England, like Reggae Land. I don't know if any of you ever heard of like Reggae Land, yes? It's over 140,000 people every August. And I must say, big up Reggae Land, because they gave the Reggae Museum and exhibition a space to promote reggae music as well, yes? And big up yourself, because for all you to come out, that means you love reggae music. If you didn't love it, you wouldn't be here. And my friend here, Mandingo, he's been a journalist, one of the best. That's why I brought him here. He's a historian. Anything you want to know about reggae music, this gentleman will be able to tell you, yes? So I'm going to look at the first reggae band in England. The very first. There's a band named Cimarron. And two of them was here Friday.
Yes.
And on stage, one of them get up on playing with 3 different bands. And no one knew who he was. So I must say, give thanks and praise to all the artists and actors and people who put Friday together with ourselves as well, yes? I can look at you, I can see when you went up there, you went out of your way. So that was an honor.
And Mr. Robinson, to interrupt you, sorry. Can you just enlighten everybody in the room as to the artists that they may be familiar with, that you've managed over your career?
I work very close with Sanchez, Shakademus and Pliers. I work a little bit with Maxi Priest. I worked a little bit also with the Garnet Silk family, Neros Joseph. and Upcoming, and a couple more. I can't remember all of them, yes? I cannot, because when you work with so many artists over the years, some of them just go through your head and come through, and that's it. But I'm saying the Cimarrons, out of all reggae artists in England, when they started, they was not positive, but they know they were going somewhere. And over the years, when Bob Marley came to England, he didn't have a full band with him. And Delroy Washington introduced him to the Cimarrons. And he wanted the Cimarrons to be his backing band. But they thought they were better than Bob Marley. And they didn't join him. I think this day they regret they didn't go ahead and sit with him, you know. I'd like Mandingo to carry on instead of take it and move on with it, please.
Yes, following on with the Cimarrons. Before the Cimarrons, there was a band in London Northwest at Hillside in Stonebridge, at 31 Hillside. But we Jamaicans, we didn't give the address as 31. We said 31. And it was a place where music sound system played, and there was a stage show. There was a band by the name of Shadrach, and this was a band that Junior English, Owen Gray and others, because they used to have a talent night, and also guest artists would come, like Owen Gray, well known, and perform Shadrach. And they were that band before. And then in 1967, the Cimarrons started with Geechee as the leader, you know, and others. And, you know, when you start as a band, you just don't go on the road immediately to perform, because you have to get your act together. Because you don't want to go on stage and get heckled, you know, run off the stage. So from 67 to 69, they actually did a lot of rehearsals, you know, preparing, which is essential in anything that you do. Nothing beats preparation. And in 69, they hit the road. But they started rehearsing from 67, going through. And of course, they started out at Tavistock Hall and Tavistock Road in Harlesden. There's a plaque there now, as a matter of fact, it is concerned. So the Cimarrons, they're people who, the band members, I know them, and vice versa, because that's one of my main areas when I came from Jamaica to study, you know, as a civil engineering student from the Jamaican government, that I used to move in the London Northwest End area also, and so that's how I knew them. And remember that reggae started in 1968 with Jackie Mittoo, the curator, playing the organ shuffle at Studio One with the Cables, Baby Why. So when the Cimarrons actually started rehearsing in 67, that was in the rock steady period. But reggae coming on the scene in 1968 and they hitting the road in 1969 is why they were the first reggae band in that sense. Others came after them, like Matumbi and others.
What's the difference between rocksteady and reggae?
It is, reggae is slow, like ska is fast. Rocksteady, a bit slow. And reggae is even slow, but you have the organ shuffle. If you listen to Baby Why by the Cables, and you'll hear Jackie Mittoo shuffling the organ. And in fact, there's a dance to reggae where you actually dance where the organ is shuffling. That you do like this. You do it to Experience by Bob Andy Let Them Say by Bob Andy, same Studio One. Nanny Goat, Larry and Alvin. The Larry is Larry Marshall, but Baby Why was done before. And then later on in the year, about October, Lester Sterling at Studio One for Bonnie Lee, not Studio One, at Treasure Isle Studio, did Bangarang for where we had Stranger Cole singing. Lester Sterling actually did over a rhythm, but in that reggae style, because he was a friend of mine, one of Jamaica's greatest horn players, played alto sax, you know. I went to Alpha Boys School. And I tell you something about the Bangarang, is that how the name came about, because he told Stranger Cole what to sing, is that he was with this lady, and you know, with relationships, they parted ways, and the lady went to the States. And Lester was still interested and wanted to continue the relationship. So Lester told me, because he was my elder friend, that he saw her daughter one day and said, you know, tell your mother that, you know, want to let bygones be bygones and let us, you know, get back together. And she told her mother, and when Lester saw her again, you know, said, in Jamaican, but I'll just say, so you understand. The daughter said, her mother said she can't bother with the Bangarang. Hence, you notice in the song here, woman no want Bangarang, can't bother with the problem, you know, it's the title. So, it's based on reality, real things happening. Yes.
Thank you. Now it makes sense. When my brothers and sisters and I would be running up and down the house making noise, my grandma would say, stop the Bangarang.
Exactly. So you know, exactly.
I know what it means.
Yes.
So Mr. Robinson, right here next to you, there's some brass instruments. Can you tell us a bit about these particular instruments right next to you?
Both of them was given to us by ex-UB40 players. This one has traveled the world up and down to help UB40 to make the noise they're making. And this one was a part of UB40 as well. So as we go along, we're just picking up instruments. People are donating various instruments to us, yes? So we can create the Reggae Museum. And I must say it, the first time this gentleman came from Jamaica, both of them, they're young boys. There wasn't nothing to play music. So they were very frustrated. Eventually they sent to Jamaica and a friend brought up some music and gave them. Some of you might remember the old Blue Spot Gram. We got one upstairs. And that was the foundation of what you see playing in clubs today. They're the one was able to put it together. In the West End, there was a club named Roaring Twenties in the 60s, up until about 63, 64. That's where it all started. Count Suttle moved from Roaring Twenties and went to Pratt Street, where he started Q Club. And while Q Club was there, a lot of Americans used to go into the Q Club. So he slowly stopped playing reggae music. And like Coxon, started to play reggae music in Roaring Twenties. So you find people like Mick Jagger, the Beatles, Muhammad Ali, all of them want to go and listen to reggae. Because reggae wasn't just us as a Caribbean, Africa-Caribbean, was listening to it. Okay, if you look and listen, you can hear how many artists has done reggae music. Mick Hutton, yeah? He done reggae with Night Nurse, and that went in the chart. I Shot the Sheriff, that went into the chart as well. And many more reggae music. So at the end of the day, Reggae is for everyone. It is for everyone. If you can understand the riff and what it's saying, it's a message. Because from the time you hold an instrument in your hand, you must understand reggae music. The bass line alone. But if you look over there, what you see? It's a valve amplifier. And without those, you wouldn't have no sound. Those was created by young black boys. And look what they come out of those, yes? Those speakers, in every club you go, you used to have a set like that and much bigger than that. And those are what create, when you go to a rock concert, you can see the speakers what came out of that design. And those young boys didn't get the money. There wasn't no way for them to write them down what they did. But myself, I'm just keep on going and preserving what I can find to keep the reggae museum and the reggae music alive. Because all over the world you go, there is a reggae festival. A friend sent one to me the other day, and this was a reggae festival in India. And they've got a batch of speakers like that there. See what's over there? But there was no boom, boom, boom. The bass wasn't there. But they were still jumping up. In Saudi Arabia, a place that you'd never believe that would have played reggae music. They're playing, "Nah, woman, nah cry, nah, woman, nah cry." And what happened? The crowd are going crazy. In Ethiopia, they're doing line dancing to reggae. Look in Spain, they got reggae concert. It's the largest in Europe. Rotterdam. And when I say it's the largest, it is big, over 240,000 people every year. So we must keep it alive, you know, and protect it. Mandingo, please.
Yes. You see, the thing about it is that reggae, like other genres of music, have their fans. No one forces anyone to listen to a particular genre. But the impact of reggae is such internationally because of the rhythm, the feel, and also the lyrics. Because the lyrics in reggae deals with all areas of life. Love, truths and rights, and justice, etc. As Peter Tosh, one of the greatest reggae musicians, said that you cannot have any peace if you don't first have equal rights and justice. There can be no peace and love if you don't have equal rights and justice first. So reggae deals with all matters. And in South Africa, the revolutionary fighters in Southern Africa, we're talking Zimbabwe, South Africa, Mozambique, Angola, etc., all admitted that the revolutionary lyrics, the Pan-Africanist revolutionary lyrics in reggae inspired them in their liberation wars. That's on record, you know, and so on. And reggae, yes, like any genre, comes from a particular people, a particular environment, but the impact of reggae is worldwide. So there's no denying and no taking away that it is we in Jamaica who created reggae music. And the appeal of reggae is such that it is worldwide. And this is why reggae is enjoyed in countries all over the world. So it's not exclusive to Jamaica. despite the fact that we created it. But the impact of it is that it has inspired people in other countries to also come with their contributions with respect to reggae.
What would you say is the most memorable moment in reggae music history? What's something that stands out to you?
There are so many memorable moments, but one of them, because I can't just say just one of them would be at the peace treaty dance at the National Stadium in Jamaica, when Bob Marley called on stage and got Michael Manley of the PNP, the Prime Minister, to hold hands with the opposition leader, Edward Seaga of the JLP. That iconic picture, you know, that stand out, that bob between them and got them to hold hands to show the crowd that away with this killing of people because you're PNP or JLP. It must be unity. Peter Tosh also performed, but sadly, his contribution was not recorded because he used a lot of colorful words, call it that way. Colorful words, which was not fit for transmission to the public. And I must say this is important. Of the three Whalers, Bonnie Whaler was not there. My school friend from Campion College, who just passed away the other day, Jamaica's greatest footballer ever, Alan Skillcode, because we went to Campion College together in the 1960s, told me that, because he was Bob Marley's best friend, that he and Bob went to check Bonnie Whaler to tell him, come to do the peace concert at the National Stadium. Because Peter had agreed. And Bonnie said no. And again, used some very colorful words to Bob Marley and said, he's not going to do any peace treaty concert because he didn't make any war. Let the warmongers who made war, let them do a peace thing, you know. So that's why Bonnie Whaler was not here. He said he was not involved in that political tribalism, so he has no part to do with it. So that's why Bonnie Whaler was not involved. But Peter came and he blasted, in colorful words though, both the PNP and the JLP for divide and ruling the people, you know.
Okay. And Mr. Robinson, what's your most memorable moment in reggae music history?
Well, I came to England as a young boy at the age of about 12. We didn't know much about reggae. But however, when I was about 18, 19, there was a show in Crystal Palace football ground. And I think thousands of people went to Crystal Palace football ground to listen to reggae music play. And we all come away from there with a stomach full, like you've been eating music all day, and a brain's full of music, yes? And from then you start to go to the record shop and listen what they're playing for this week. Okay, it was like one street might have 5 record shops in it, and everyone is buying record. And those little thing you call sound system, every other street there is a sound system on it. So you're looking forward to buy your music, and then you scratch your name off the music. You don't want the other guy to see what you're playing, because you want to be the best along, you know. So that was one of my best time in reggae. The second time is when Bob Marley came to Finsbury Park and playing the round in the oh my God. He played in Finsbury Park, and that was like another stepping stone for us, yeah? When you leave out it, everyone was singing One Love, and that's all you could hear everywhere is One Love, like music's escape, and we get it now, yes? And we start to hold on to it. And clubs start to open everywhere. I live in East London, but there wasn't a club in East London. I have to travel all the way to Brixton. They got a club near Ram Jam, and it was upstairs. And we all used to go to Ram Jam and celebrate and meet people as well from different parts of London. And there wasn't enough social club, but the sound system has brought us close together. People from St. Lucia, Dominica, Barbados, Nigeria, Ghana. At them time, I didn't know Jamaica have so many people. Okay, everyone you meet is a Jamaican. My memories, I met one chap from Senegal. I asked him where he come from. Denham. Where's Denham? Denham. And everyone choose somewhere in Jamaica. They say they're from, just through the music. So reggae music has taught us so much love, caring, understanding, behavior, culture, education, economics. Until now, it can't finish. It will go on and on and on. When I'm gone, it will be still turning over. Although you can't buy it in every shop, but it is still there if you search for it.
So you mentioned, when I asked you about the brass instruments, where you got them from, and they've travelled the world with UB40. But as we can see, we've got a few things with strings over here. Can you tell us a little bit about these, and what is your favourite one out of the collection?
That's my favourite out of them, yeah?
The orange one?
Because, no, next to the orange one.
This one here?
Yeah, that's Fender.
Okay.
That was the one that backed Bob Marley. And Geechee held on to that for quite a few years. And he wouldn't get rid of it for no reason in the world. But he donated it to us to protect it and look after it.
Oh. Is that your favourite piece that's been
piece,
donated?
Yeah.
Lovely.
And then, that other one there is from Delroy, Washington. The very first I ever played in Labrador Carnival. And it's still there with us, yes? That one is from Alan Weeks. He played with Jean Alibamba, which she's gone. All her hit that she made, without that it couldn't have done. The other one is from Elroy, yes? And he had some tracks like Babylon and many more other tracks, yes? So they're here, Hitman as well. So they're here with us. The sound system played in one club for about 30 years or 40 years. I went to Hootenanny one night and I'm outside speaking to a gentleman named Bob Andy. And when me and Bob Andy was talking, there was a gentleman there listening. And he said, "You're doing a reggae museum exhibition? Why don't you give me a ring? Give me his number." And as a Jamaican, when some man give you a number, you think he's a funny man. So me not talk, me not call a boy, I don't want him number. Went back to Hootenanny another night, about 4 weeks later. He came to me and he said, "Big man, you know, give me a ring." Then time I started, when I first came, I'm punching my face. Give a ring for. But I went to Brixton one day to look for a friend named Tyrone. And when I went to Tyrone's house, I told him, Tyrone said, "Give him a ring now, hear what him say." Gave him a ring. The guy said, "Here's my address, come by."
Oh, yeah.
Went by his house. As soon as you open the door, that's all you can see is all them things in the passage. You couldn't see inside the house. He said, "Take them out, I don't want them." I said, "I mean take them." He said, "Take them." So straight away, I don't know what to do with them. I went to the minicab. Can I get an estate car? Nope. Everything on the road, to get a car to take them home. Eventually a guy said, where you going? I told him. He said, boss, you give me £80, I'll take them for you. And he made 2 trips. The second trip he made, I don't know him from Adams. Took him so long to get to. So I said, when did this guy disappear this time? Why did I should have gone with him in the last trip. Anyway, he came back with them, and there they are with many more beats in my place. And if you look upstairs, you can see the rest of them. They're priceless. To preserve the music industry and reggae for the younger generation, you know. If we don't, the hunters will preserve it and change narratives of it into his way or their way. But as you guys are here, you can say you're in the history of reggae. You've seen a part of it. And we've got this. I saw Mandingo the other day going through it, yeah? And this will give you the history of a lot of reggae music that was done in Jamaica and in England. So we have to give thanks and praise to the people that was above us or before us who laid the tracks down for us so we can continue. Give thanks.
And talking about this book, it has Jamaican record labels in it and so on. And one of the pages has my Mandingo record label in it with some of my songs. Yes. And it was put together by 2 English guys. One of them I know, you know, because he used to sell in Daddy Cool shop in the West End and so on. And the other one has a shop still in the West End. But when I looked at it, it's on page 467, and they showed 3 of my records, you know, the labels, red, black, and green, the Marcus Garvey colors. One of them is Sex Educational Class, General Echo, which was his first hit, produced by me, Mandingo label. Same rhythm as one of Sugar Minor's first hit that I produced, Every Little Thing You Run to Babylon, and others. But one thing they did that upset me, they hadn't asked for permission, and Steve knew me. But what they wrote is that I named my label, which was in 1977, that it was inspired by some book about slavery, African enslavement in the southern part of the States, a book. No such thing. I'm a Marcus Garvey man. I'm a Pan-Africanist. The reason why I call my label Mandingo and the colors are red, black, and green is because I'm a Marcus Garvey man, a Pan-Africanist, and the colors of the African flag designed by Marcus Garvey are red, black, and green. That's the reason. And as an African from Jamaica, I said the name of my label has to reflect my African racial identity. Nothing about any slavery business and any stud business in the States, etc. So just letting you, you know, be aware of that. And what it goes to show, which is the point that Collin Robinson here keeps stressing, and it must be stressed at all times. It shows the importance of documenting our story. Because if you do not document your own story, other people will tell lies about your story. And only you can tell your story because you have lived it. You haven't heard about it. And this is why what he's doing, and this is why I support him with this reggae museum and exhibition, and what you and your colleagues have done, because you're a part of that, in helping us to portray the authentic, the real story, which can only be told and represented by us. Because the thing is either true or false. There's no in between. It's like you're either pregnant or you're not pregnant. You can't be a little bit pregnant.
You're not pregnant, are you?
Right. No. Wait, okay? So you dig the analogy. So with us, we represent the truth, how it is, not fiction. There's no in between and playing around. And as a journalist, I also publish. This is my Mandingo News and Views color magazine. Many editions of it. This is one of them that I wrote all the articles and published in 2005. And the reason why I did it, again, is self-reliance. Because sometimes if you are going to write for someone, they want to change your things and to dictate and falsify. I don't take censorship. I tell it like it is. And I do not allow others to falsify what I have to say. I represent myself. And this is a Marcus Garvey thing. Duke Vin is one of the persons on it. He was my elder and friend. And he was the first sound system man in Britain in 1955. He started out as a DJ for Jamaica's top sound system at the time, Tom the Great Sebastian from Luke Lane. But in 1954, he stowed away with Suckle. He wasn't called Count Suckle, then it was just Suckle. And an ex-friend of theirs called Lenny Fry from Bowden in St. Thomas. And they came here in London, came off, and when he was here, Jamaicans remembering him from Jamaica, being the #1 DJ for Tom the Great Sebastian Sound, and wanting to go to dance because, as he's saying, what people had to satisfy themselves with was a blues spot. And blues spot, by the way, is really a German gramophone. But in English, blues spot. And people kept saying, we don't have any place to go to hear our music, dance like how we used to do in Jamaica. And of course, even the clubs there, the racism. Our people couldn't go there, we had to make our own thing. So he decided to start our own sound system, as the people said. And it's the people who gave him the name Duke Vin, because in Jamaica, he was known as Shine Shoes Vinny, because his shoes were always shine. He walked with a chamois, and he was always, he was a slick dresser and so on. So the people who said, call yourself Duke Vin, after Duke Reed, like what a great thing. So that's how that came about in 1955. And he was the first sound system also to play in the West End at Berwick Street in 1956. His life story. This was in 2005, so we're talking 20 years ago. I have other editions and so on with like Gregory Isaacs and Ken Booth, etc. And Alton Ellis, my favorite singer. But it goes to show the importance of documenting your story yourself, because there's no substitute for you in terms of representing yourself.
I love that. What a lovely note to finish on. So yes, we've come to that time. So
we're just getting started,
I know.
We're just warming up, We could be here until midnight.
We could, but we can't.
Okay, before we
so
finish,
we're closing.
Before we close, I'm going to say, one love, one heart, let's get together when you feel alright. Give thanks and praise.
Thank you. Thank you to Mr. Collin Robinson and journalist Mandingo. Thank you so much. And thank you guys all. If you have any questions for them, because we're